Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to make these cinnamon rolls using our refrigerator dough. Alright, to get started we're going to make the filling, and in this cup I have 1 cup of dark brown sugar. And you do not have to use dark brown. If you want to use light brown, that's fine. And this sugar was lightly packed in the cup before I put it in. Now right here we have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. To that we're going to add 1 stick of butter that's been browned. And if you don't know how to make brown butter, let me know in the comments down below so that I can show you. And you see all those dark bits down there? That is the milk solids that have darkened and deepened in flavor. We're going to want to get all of those out. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and stir, and we're just going to stir it until it comes to be like a paste, basically. Now, if you used less sugar, or if you use regular butter, because you don't have to use brown butter, then your mixture will look a little different than mine, but that is what mine looks like. Okay, we're going to set that aside, and we're going to start on the topping. Now, right here we have some cream cheese that has been brought to room temperature, and we have some butter that's also been brought to room temperature. The cream cheese is 4 ounces and the butter is half a stick. And in the big bowl we have 1 cup of powdered sugar that has been softened. Wait, no, powdered sugar hasn't been softened. The butter's been softened. The powdered sugar has been sifted. We're going to add the cream cheese and the butter into that. Also, there is 1/8 teaspoon of salt inside of that powdered sugar, and we're just going to mix together. Now, if I had vanilla extract, I would add it here, but I am all out. If you have vanilla extract, go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of that right now. Okay, so now after I've made a full mess, I've realized that my cream cheese frosting is a little too thick for my liking. So I went ahead and I added about 2 tablespoons total of milk. And you could use any milk that you like. You don't have to thin yours out. I just like mine to have a better pouring consistency. And when it's done, it should look something like this. Okay, so now we're going to get started on the actual dough. Now this is 1/3 of a portion from our refrigerator dough, and I will link that in the description down below. And we're just going to throw a few tablespoons of bench flour down on our work surface, and we're going to spread it out nice and thin, and then we're going to push the excess bench flour over to the side. I'd also like to apologize because my lighting keeps coming in and out on this video. It's not the greatest, but I apologize and I hope you can still deal with it. Okay, now I'd also like to mention that this dough was brought to room temperature as well for about 40 minutes. And now I'm just going to use some of that extra bench flour and flour my rolling pin. And if your dough gives you some problems, then go ahead, leave it alone for about another 5-10 minutes, come back so that it will be pliable for you. And now I'm just going to roll this out to a rough rectangle, and I'm going to try to get it to about 1/4 inch thickness. And it's going to be really, really rough. You're going to see mine. I'm sure yours will be much prettier. You could use a knife to straighten up your edges if you want to do that. Now right here, I've got my rough rectangle. I'm brushing off any excess flour. And now here is the filling that we made earlier. And now I'm just going to put it all over the dough here. Now you could use your fork or a spoon or anything else that you have to spread this paste out. I'll show you. You can do it, but it would take forever. So I make sure that my hands are super clean, and I just get in here and I use my hand to work it. And it might feel like it's taking a really long time, but I promise you, if you just keep rubbing it, it will eventually come together. And if you're making this for people that are outside of your family, if touching the ingredients with your hand like that makes you uncomfortable, go ahead and pop on a glove. Okay, so now I have spread this out and I'm going to go ahead and leave about an inch all the way around the edges, and then we're going to start the rolling. Okay, and I know that I have it a little bit out of screen here, but you will see it, I promise. So I'm just using a little of that bench flour for my fingers, and now I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling this up. Now, basically, you just grab it with your fingers and you just start pushing it in the direction that you want it to go. And if you notice that yours is a little bit sticky, it's kind of sticking to the table or something, go ahead and put some of that bench flour right there and then let it unstick itself. It'll do it for you. I promise. You just start rolling it up and you tell these cinnamon rolls that this is the way we're going. And you just roll them up until you get all the way to the end. Okay, so now after you get them all the way rolled up, you're going to want to grease a knife, and I am cutting off my edges. Now I'm not going to waste my edges. I actually decided to only make 6 cinnamon rolls here, and I decided to do like a little experimentation just to see the look of it. But if you're not doing any experimenting or anything like that, go ahead and cut this into 12 equal portions. And they look something like that once you cut them up. Okay, now this is just a method that I have used before. It's not perfect. You just kind of score it a little bit to let yourself, kind of give yourself a guide of where you're going to cut these cinnamon rolls. Because you want them to be as even as possible, but you do not need to be a fanatic. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now in my 9 by 13, it's been greased. I've got these cinnamon rolls in here close but not touching, and we're going to set them aside for 1 hour or until they double in size. Now here I am, I'm getting ready for my little experiment. I'm just cutting up my scraps that I had from trimming and any of the extra dough, and I am tossing these in my mini bundt pan that's also been greased. And of course, this is not necessary. You do not need to do this. Go ahead and just make yourself a dozen cinnamon rolls. But I thought it was interesting, so I kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of something else you can do. So this is about 1 hour from rising, basically. In a nice warm spot, covered up with a tea towel. This is 1 hour right here for the bundt pan as well. Now these are just going to go into a preheated 350-degree oven. And mine took about 13 minutes, but you're going to want to start checking because everybody's oven is different. And you're looking for bubbly and pretty brown dough, and you'll notice that they're larger and the house will smell delicious, but just go ahead and start checking them. And this is what mine looked like after they came out of the oven. Like I said, mine took 13 minutes. My bundt pan took a little bit longer, however, it took about 20 minutes. So after about 5 minutes out of the oven, I went ahead and started to frost my cinnamon rolls. And you just take that frosting that we made earlier, the cream cheese frosting, just mix it up a bit, and then spread it on as thick as you like, as thin as you like. You can put it in the bottle and then spray it on so you can be like more prettier if you want. You could do any kind of frosting you want to do here. If you don't like this frosting, you could use a canned frosting. If you're not into that, you could just toss some powdered sugar, anything you want here. These are your cinnamon rolls, however you like them. And that brown sugar kind of melted down to the bottom, made like almost a caramel sauce on the bottom. Whew, they are sweet, but they are delicious. And now this is my bundt pan after it just came out. Just in case you're curious, I'm showing you. This is kind of like a pull-apart bread. That's a cinnamon roll. It's, of course, the exact same flavor profile, but I wanted something a little bit different. And I'm just going to go ahead and frost this as well, same way that I did the cinnamon rolls. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, there it is. Gorgeous, absolutely delicious. Give this a go. You will not regret it. They are amazing. Add walnuts, almonds, chocolate chips, whatever you like. Get down on these, guys. Take pictures. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and come back to my kitchen.